Premier League, Premiership champions, should I say. It's a wonderful occasion, and you can see it green in the crowd as well, with some Celtic jerseys flying around.
To right, South Melbourne, their famous blue shirts, blue shorts, blue socks from right to left. Need to drink that for Javi Lopez, the former Bentley Greens goalkeeper, of course, wearing green in goal for South Melbourne tonight. Of course, inspired by Celtic, who, as we all know, won the Scottish Premiership title during the week, a massive occasion for club. Wriggling way through a couple here, Avondale. Bolton waits to receive and does. Played out wide. Getting back to win the ball there was Dylan Jakupi. Takes Towns. He's back into the team last week after missing the game against Heidelberg for Avondale last week. Returns home to Rory Bryan. They'll attempt just keeping the ball here early on. Reed. Krzyzewski returns the favour. To build the first real attack of the game. Bolton had made the run down the inside left channel. The ball could only find Javi Lopez, who takes the open arms as South regain possession of the ball.
It's very interesting Avondale utilising playing out from the back. It's an interesting method employed by Lucky Markovsky's man. Sawyer receives it fairly deep. The option of Patrick Langlois forward. Harrison Sawyer not known exactly for playing those long passes. Number 10, so number 9 should I say. He's very ground several weeks ago. It's 4 against the Eastern line, so in the air he's absolutely clinical. It has to be said. South Melbourne again in this first pass. Looking for the option of Alan Webb on that far side, but it will be James Ricabene to take the throw in. Brian wants to clear it. Towns looking to get the first touch, and here come South Melbourne. Now Norton, decision towards the area, just drifts past the path of Harrison Sawyer, and Avondale might have a counter-attacking opportunity of their own as very good defending. That time from Alan Webb.
And that's where the ball goes. Race hand from Mikola. Just past Christian Krzyzewski. Referee Lachlan Keevers has seen something he doesn't quite like here. So South Melbourne will give themselves a free kick right on halfway here. City. Sean Simmons on a goal. half right, Sawyer. Keeps it in play, he's got options in the middle. Will he try and find one? He looks across the ball in, deflected en route and behind for a South Melbourne corner. Nice and played out to the big man. He just couldn't quite get the cross past his direct opponent. South will have to settle for a corner, set to be taken by Max Mikkola. It was his first season at South Melbourne, crossing from Lions FC in Queensland. Was so good there last season. Looks to help his new side out here. 2 arms aloft, whipped in. Not a bad delivery, punched away by Rory Bryant. Not further clear by Yite Towns. Chiba, only given away. Avengers will have the throw on his bike early on there for Avondale was Yusuf Ahmed, but there's lost possession. Schroen, nice ball in behind looking for Sawyer. Will keep it alive, whips in. And Avondale should be able to clear. Reed, now Batavian. Take Towns. Flipped over the top from Boland, looking towards the Avondale left. Chasing it down. Joey Batavian who gets there. Well, it's square if he wants. Goes alone and his shot blocked. Excellent game of football early on. Valentini. Cut back. Chance for Christian Trzeski. Run down in the area. Penalty Avondale. A spot kick that Lachlan Keevers simply had to give. Christian Trzeski brought down in the penalty area. And a real chance for Avondale from 12 yards. As Avondale look to rain on the Postecoglou parade. They have a massive chance to gain the ascendancy early on. The hush comes upon Lakeside Stadium. Boland tasked with putting his side in front. 6 league goals for Liam Boland this season. Looks to try and make it 7. Liam Boland steps up and sends Javi Lopez the wrong way. Avondale don't care about the South Melbourne party. They're absolutely fine playing the role of party poopers. And they're off to a fly here at Lakeside. Tonight's villains looking to upset the apple cart. And a dream start for the Avengers. Teams in front inside 7 minutes. It's South Melbourne 0, Avondale 1.
Fantastic interplay from Avondale, especially on the left. Stefan Valentini and Christian Trzeski doing very well to combine. Never giving up, Zoki Markovsky's men. Relentless counter-attacking football at times. In transition, they are unbeatable at times. As Norton will look to restart play, to send the ball fairly deep to find path Harrison Sawyer. Ball waited a bit too much to find Alan Webb on the far side and he's going to throw away. Does James Riccobene. South Melbourne in no rush to take the throw in. Well, I think it might be a long throw as you can see Liam Almazi has now made his way into the penalty area. Max Mikkola to take the throw. Avondale last week losing 3-1 to Heidelberg United. Lachlan Keevers seems to be remonstrating with Yusuf Ahmed. May seem, but no yellow cards handed out there. So a long throw to come from Max Mikkola. Got behind Harrison Sawyer and Liam Almazi. Throw comes in. Grinders will poke it home, but Alan Webb will look to fire, and it's saved by Rory Bryant. Well, a fantastic opportunity for South Melbourne to strike right back. As you can see Esteban Quintas, the A-licensed coach on the wings, has only lost 1 game this season, South Melbourne. A fantastic start for a team last season that wasn't in the top 6. Come the disruption. Now Max Mikkola to take. Well taken is from Max Mikkola. Roy Bryant pokes it away. Now we can see Mario Barcia to play a ball. You see Ben Jiba manages to clear. And it's given away to South Melbourne, so a lot of conjecture from the Avondale bench. No rush in South Melbourne, now we can see Marko Jankovic. Swivels and turns. His dad, of course, did play for Real Madrid, so son of a Real Madrid great is Marko Jankovic. Chested on by Sawyer, can only go as far as Christian Jajeski. Now here comes Stefan Valentini. He's got the pace, can he get past Benji? But that's the question. Drifts past us, Stefan Valentini, finding his way into the 18 area. Missed kick from Ahmed, finished! That time by Yete Towns! That is a bullet strike into the bottom left corner, and Avondale are definitely in the box seat to steal the party here at Lakeside Stadium. South Melbourne fans are absolutely shook to the core. The players are shocked. Soki Markovski's men have found their groove once again.
Brilliant finish from Yute Towns. You just thought, as soon as the ball broke to him, that the net was about to bulge. And bulge it did. Javi Lopez, no chance. Dream start for Avondale. And South Melbourne's golden run is stuttering potentially to a stop here. Already a mountain to climb, 10 minutes in. And Avondale, with no sense of occasion, have dominated the opening 10 minutes. And South are rattled. Restarted. South Melbourne, their backs against the wall. Jankovic forward. Almar's looking to flick it on. All the second balls fall in the way of the Avengers. Making the run forward now is Trajeski to try and take it past Langlaw. Trajeski will have it back. Switch towards Liam Boland. To win his header. Trying to spur their team on towards a comeback. Not too much to shout about at the moment. Avondale content with playing keep ball. Reed. Melbourne City. Sixth league appearance tonight for Avondale. Boland looking to try and drive forward. Takes it past halfway. Rolls it to Towns. Then moves back to goal. Back to Towns, which is played in behind Dylan Jacoby. First time ball into the middle. It could be three. It is! The Avondale onslaught continues. Stefan Valentini rolls it into an empty net, and Avondale are tearing teams apart like we saw them do for so much of last year. But they haven't quite dominated a team like this to this extent. And Lakeside falls silent. No one expected this. Avondale 3 to the good. Where does this game go from here? What a start, the Avengers!
Oh my goodness. This is inconceivable. This was not meant to happen. South Melbourne are down 3-0 to Avondale on their home turf after 13 minutes played. Javi Diaz in shock. Marko Jankovic sitting incredibly deep. Max Mikula has barely got a touch. And this Esteban Quintas side is struggling intensely, although they might look to fight back this time to Marcus Troy. Central for Webb! Oh, that was a golden chance for South Melbourne. An opportunity to peg one back as the game has seemingly slipped from their grasps with 75 minutes of regulation time remaining. This is unbelievable. Well, it's end-to-end attacking football on display, and Avondale have been the key proponents of this. But, my goodness, it has been quite intriguing start to this contest. Probably the main headline of this weekend's football in the NPL Victoria. It was 0-0 between Port Melbourne and Melbourne Knights as it stands. Marshall, back to Javi Diaz. He's taking his time and sends it long in a diagonal fashion. Try looking ahead on. Avondale do into Coopy, unable to get the first touch. And now, Sawyer will head it on for Max Mikula, who strikes, and Brian saves. Acrobatics on display for Rory Bryan, and Mikula's forced to turn it away again, and South Melbourne in the corner. Well, South Melbourne have certainly attacked so far. They haven't looked like the second best side in many phases of play. In fact, the only 3 shots that have been taken by Avondale have resulted in 3 goals. That's the definition of clinical right there. Max Mikula now on this near side will take this corner. Well weighted, and Roy Bryan takes very well. And all Zoki Markovsky's men can really do now is hold on to this lead. There's a 3-goal margin, and you'd expect that they surely do not give this up. Although the fighting spirit of Ange Postecoglou does reign true in the South Melbourne side. Now Ahmed, ball over the top. He's almost through on goal. He's got Liam Boland in the middle. Ahmed turns away. Now Yankovic, you can see Trzeski coming in the central region. Now Yusuf Ahmed again. Towns, deflected by Almazi. Taking the way back with defensive midfielder and Mario Barcia. And Avondale will look to restate their intent to get another goal.
Huge chances for South Melbourne down the other end. Alan Webb probably should have scored. Max Mikula doing well to test Rory Bryan from that angle, but they can't get much going at the moment, South Melbourne. You know that Avondale have won the last 8 NPL men's Victoria clashes between the 2 sides. South winning the first 3 in the NPL men's Victoria era. Avondale winning the next 8, including a 2-0 win last year. Goals from Stephen Valentini, who's already found the net tonight, and Yusuf Ahmed. Remarkable start. Remarkable. There aren't too many superlatives in the English dictionary that could quite live up to how this game has gone. Baffling stuff. Avondale looking to go forward against Tessa South defence. Cynical tackle. Swiping at the legs will bring a yellow card for Lirim Elmazi. Hack down. The Avondale attack looking to head forward, but the former Altona Magic Man just there making sure that Avondale's attack didn't progress any further. South Melbourne having to defend again. Tall timber in the box for Avondale, including Reed, Towns, part of the Avondale cavalry. Boland in there as well. Shaped it back at Tabian, drifting away at the front post. South Melbourne who look to try and get themselves forward. They can't do so. They can hardly get out of defence. tonight's hosts. A rotten time of it at the moment. The ball goes all the way back to Javi Lopez's opposite number in Rory Bryant. Of course, Lopez has had a lot to do, namely picking the ball out of the back of the net, of course. Bryant making a good save or two. Lopez rolls it short, South Melbourne playing with fire. Jankovic, given away, Boland looking to feast on the South Melbourne carcass. Towns rolls it back, and a massive chance goes begging. Christian Trudreski looking to blast it into the back of the net. It's just wide, and South are in tatters.
This is just, as you mentioned before, Ollie, it is absolutely remarkable that this team, which has been defensively solid for most of the season, has conceded 3 goals in the space of 15 minutes. It's honestly remarkable, and attacking-wise, they haven't even been that bad. You can see the likes of Max Mikkola driving down the left-hand side now, parries it down to Alan Webb. Central's looking for the path of Harrison Sawyer, but too much weight on that ball, and James Ricabene taken by way of a throw-in. But as you mentioned, Ollie, it's been just so surprising to see this team collapse in such a short space of time. This is the first place team in the NPL Victoria. This is a team that should be resolute in every sense of the word, and it's a collapse of, I'd say, remarkable proportions, and one of which no one could have predicted in any way, shape or form. Now Boland looking to carry the ball over the top for the path of Stefan Valentini. Bundles over Ben Jeeba, but Jeeba did seemingly tap it out of play. Of course, tonight, if you do wear any Celtic apparel, you can get in here at Lakeside Stadium. Offer on hand for all Celtic fans or fans of football. Now Sawyer looking to drive through. He does get the first touch as Harrison Sawyer driving onto his right. It's Harrison Sawyer. Looks to break away. He's got the options of Langlois centrally. He scuffs his run, and Harrison Sawyer unfortunately unable to score or get a shot off.
By Marshall from Mario Garcia. As though Sawyer would just be bearing down on goal. Couldn't quite get the shot away. South Melbourne the corner as they look to work their way back in.
Max Mikkola for the first time from the far side by way of a corner. High again. Jankovic looking to head it on, but Brad Norton wants to be heading it in once more. Schrone tips it over the back of his head, and Rory Bryant, most comfortable save he'll make today. Not even sure if you can constitute that a save. Now Ahmed steaming forward. Trudreski now on this near side. That was deflected, and Dylan Jakubi will pick up. Of course, Jakubi returns to the lineup after playing last week. He didn't play against St Albans the week prior. Against Dandenong City, I should say, the week before. One of the most talented fullbacks in the entirety of Victoria. Has been, I guess, the talk of speculation to go to the A-League men's, but you know, we do see coaches and scouts of the A-League men making their way to various NPL grounds across Victoria. A bit hard to spot them sometimes, but when you do, it's always a great sight, always on the lookout for some talent. Nice little flick on by Harrison Sawyer. Webb will do well to chase and able to reach it. Rory Bryant will take the goal kick.
Just about get time to catch our breath here. Been a frantic start. Avondale have been faultless so far against the South Melbourne team that have been near faultless throughout the start of this NPL Men's Victoria season. Just unfathomable what we've seen here tonight. I think South will be too happy with this. They obviously won't. I don't think Avondale will be content just keeping this game at 3. I don't think we've seen the last of the goals either. Rolled in field from Norton. Forward from Jankovic, to no South player in particular. They'll look to work it forward again. Free kick as Christian Krzyzewski was brought down, the former North Macedonia youth international. Representing the country at under 20 level. Right to the touchline now, Jakupi. South fans still singing on that far side, despite the scoreline not being a rosy one from their point of view. He got it back to Rory Bryan, formerly of South Melbourne, represented the club once in a early round cup match against the Battersea Rangers. South look to weather the ball forward. Towards the middle, Sawyer nods it down! What a knockdown! Flag goes up! Norton was offside. Perfect target man play from Sawyer, just to nod it down. Flag was up on the far side, preventing the chance for South to just trim that margin.
Very incisive ball into the box. Esteban Quintas' side are still playing some very exquisite attacking football, but they're just unable to find the target of Harrison Sawyer. He's really been a playmaker today, which is very intriguing. I think that's something that Lucky Markowski would have targeted during the week. This is very interesting. I love Webber switched wings now to the right-hand side. He was formerly on the left several minutes ago. I think Max Beckel has come to join him as well. He's sort of a roaming playmaker in the number 10 role. And, well, the changes continue to come for Avondale as well, with Liam Boland on that left-hand side, the right-hand side of the pitch, the far side, with Ahmed often being deployed as a striker out of possession, which I find to be quite an interesting tactic utilised from Lucky Markowski. Nicola draws in central for Jankovic, plays the first time ball to find Patrick Langlois in some space. The former Newcastle Jet, Hume City midfielder, on the score sheet several times this season. At one point was almost at the top of the NPL Victoria top goal scorer rankings. So very interesting from a defensive midfielder. And Nicola looking to drive inside. It gets past Rekabene. Webb all central in the middle, all free. Nicola draws it to his left now. Chipped in by Benjiba. It's cleared away. South Melbourne will retain possession. Benjiba. This far side. Nicola turns away exquisitely. And draws the foul. Does Max Mikula. Talked about Mikula's playmaking abilities and what he brings to this South Melbourne side. He got 23 goals in 31 games last season in the NPL Queensland with Lions FC. And if he can sort of replicate the exploits of Henry Hoare, he might get himself a great league contract, as it's headed on by the Avondale defence, and Ahmed will clear. Now the running path of Christian Krzyzewski looking to be cut out by Brad Norton, the esteemed veteran of South Melbourne, as he's brought down, and Javi Diaz-Lopez is forced to clear it long. And now Avondale might look to break away once more. Through the advent of Dylan Jakupi on this near side. He's created some space for himself, has Jakupi. Chipped in ball, and it's looked to be cleared by Marko Jankovic. Schreiner will be forced to clear it once more. Itavian manages to keep it in. Now Towns finds his way on this near side. Almost slips and will earn himself the corner. Bit of animosity brewing between these two sides. We've seen Lachlan Peeves stop play in many instances to chat to some of the Avondale players, of South Melbourne included. See Marcus Schoen a little bit dissatisfied. Let's not forget Schroen, ex-Hume City, applied his trade in Holland as well. It will be James Rekabene to loft it in. 17, of course, formerly opted that number by his brother and Phil. Lofts in high, does Rekabene. Headed on once more. South Melbourne might look to counter. They may not have the momentum, but they still will draw it up forward. Langlois. Steaming forward is Patrick Langlois, brought down, and the free kick is awarded, and a yellow card is awarded also to, I think, Joey Katabian, if I'm not mistaken.
Yellow card brought out a couple of times now. The back pockets of Lachlan Keevers. Now, a chance from this set piece. They've scored more times from set pieces than any side of the NPL men's Victoria team by a mile. It's rolled short to Norton, who skips inside, whips in. Headed away by Avondale. And the shot from Max Mikula couldn't be kept down. Sailing well wide. Not Max Mikula's proudest moment on occasion. 9-4 goal kick to Avondale. We approach the opening half hour here at Lakeside. An absolutely bonkers half an hour. Off the scale from Avondale. 3 goals to the good they remain. Looking forward there, Christian Coopy. Possession looking forward. The direction of Alan Loeb, who slipped. Nelson's never going to get on the end of that. Outside the area from where we're positioned. Max Mikula just outside the area will stand over the ball. 3 man more for Avondale. To eat into this 3-goal Avondale lead. On a bad delivery towards the back stick, headed down to the ground and headed away. In the midst of all that, Rory Bryan has collected one of his teammates who's down in a heap, and the physio will be called for. Of course, you can't blame Rory Bryan there for doing his job. Had to deal with it. He had collected his teammates in the process. Dealing hope is okay and to continue, although we'll wait to see if that's the case. Follow the play down. It's always a tough one to see, Neil, isn't it, when the goalkeeper collects one of their own players?
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's very difficult, but Max Mikula has the opportunity now to send this in to the mixer.
this in. Avondale reducing from a full complement just for the moment, whipped it towards the front post, through a number of bodies. Avondale scrambling it away, Norton over the top, and South Stalwart is so much better than that. The chance dissipates. Avondale can breathe a sigh of relief.
Well, sigh of relief, they definitely breathe. It's been a very interesting game in terms of the complexion of these two attacking sides. They both have the quality to inflict pain on their opponents. I'd have to say, I think Jai Ingham would have been a very handy addition to this Avondale, to the South Melbourne front three. He, of course, has really struggled to get some starting 11. Overlapping run of Marzi, South Melbourne with plenty of space. Nicola now inboard to Jijiba. Central for Nicola once more, will have to be forced to turn. And Avondale will strike once more. Valentini picking up a loose ball. Now with Liam Boland, who's back on the pitch. And there's a foul called against Stefan Valentini. I think that might have been something for the follow-through in that instance. Was it Benjiba? Ollie, give us some more insight.
It's definitely an Avondale free kick. Keeper's pulling it back, it's not against Valentini. Again, as they were able to do so well in the early knockings of the game. Trying to press high. Dale able to evade it. Reed. Back. Safety as goalkeeper. Damien. Again into the middle. Say Towns. Out wide now to Yusuf Ahmed, who looks to drive. Got the overlapping run of Jakupi if he wants him, and he does. Won't get through to him. Sliding in to get there first was Liram El-Marzi. To poke it behind for another Avondale corner. Really clever run by Dylan Jakupi. Yeah, the pass slightly under hit. So Avondale have to deal with a set piece. South Melbourne prolific when attacking from set pieces and staunch when defending from them. Seen in the equal least amount of goals set pieces, so it just shows how good they've been this season. I think to defend these kind of scenarios. They defend this one here. To the middle, close towards the goalkeeper. Lopez punches away. Mars looks to clear. It's a second bite of the cherry. Informed by Jakupi. Avondale back in possession. Ahmed prodded that one forwards. That was intended for him to get it back, and he couldn't. Awful ball forward looking for Alan Webb. And South Melbourne can hardly string a couple of passes together at the moment. A game that hasn't gone to plan on any metric. It's fizzed out wide towards Dylan Jakupi. Now to Boland on the Avondale right. Soon break inside the penalty area. And a bad ball into the middle. A break for either of the two Avondale attackers in the middle. As South look to move the other way. Sawyer. Swift pass intercepted. Shaw giving chase. Seen out of play by Mario Garcia. South and Langlaw rush to take it. Short to captain in Brad Norton. Sawyer down to Langlaw, over the top. Now trying to play intricately here. Norton, seen how to play for yet another South Melbourne throw. Towards the final 5 of the 45. Game that started off with fireworks. Game's tempo has slowed down a fair bit since then, but I'm sure Avondale won't mind as Mikola sends it into the middle. Long throw, headed away ostensibly by Avondale. Schroen couldn't get there. Avondale looked to break. Bowler making the run forward. That's where the ball goes. Played back towards Valentini, who got there. Well saved by Javi Lopez. Flicker of hope. Effortless from Trzeski, who looked to shoot. Back off Norton, looking to twist and turn. But unable to do so. Play into the middle, Mikola gets there first. Knocked it past Garcia, who he thought had fouled him. Referee thought nothing doing. Play continued, and the South fans livid with that decision.
Wonderful interplay from both sides. Max Mikola got the first touch, slightly too much power on that. Wasn't able to exactly carry it through on goal, but this is what South Melbourne need to do. They need to get those first couple touches to ensure that they get some momentum while driving in transition. Now Avondale look to drive through. Ahmed, should I say Ito Towns. Octavian. Reed is forced wide to receive the ball. Garcia. Interestingly deployed as a centre back today.
Yeah.
Avondale biding their time, that's for sure. Absorb the pressure, break down South Melbourne through piercing the various gaps and holes in their defence. Now Ahmed, down to the wing where Stefan Valentini is placed. Look to drive forward, now cutting onto his left. Down central for Towns again. Will he look to fire from long range? The answer is no. In fact, it might be yes. So deflected once more, for handball. Now Towns again looking to loft it inwards. That's cleared way over the top, and Javi Lopez will take the gun wide to find Brad Norton. Cleared way over the top, and Javi Lopez will take the goal kick. Now, Marko Jankovic down wide to find Brad Norton. South would feel that they'd love to secure one goal before half-time. Although with passes like that, they'll be in no fighting shape to claw their way back whatsoever. Of course, 2 minutes of regulation time remaining in this first half here at Lakeside Stadium. Game now kicked off between Port Melbourne and Melbourne Knights, as well as Green Gully's fixture. Thrown in far, Valentini looking to drive forwards, faced with the path of Benjiba. Strong ball inwards, although Boland will pick up. Liam Boland again! The play is significant, the play is nearly wonderful! And Avondale earn themselves a corner. Yusuf Ahmed and Liam Boland combining once again. And another chance goes begging for the Avengers. Now they have themselves a corner. If they were to secure 4, this would be the biggest NPL upset of the season thus far. By way of significance, where these two teams currently play, South Melbourne with a win would go into 3rd place with 2 games on Oakley, while South Melbourne will still remain on top. Octavian. Centrally looking for the path of Matty Reid that time. Mikola is brought down. Earned his side a free kick. As you can see, Avondale defenders streaming back to defend. Ahmed looking to take that first, and I think that must be a yellow card for Yusuf Ahmed, and it is. Justifiably so, Yusuf Ahmed is booked. No need for that whatsoever. Now Brad Norton on his near side, Langlois. And that's what Zaki Markovsky has done. He's made his side press for the player on the ball. It's created a lot of pressure to find those gaps. Now Sawyer receives it deep. Comes to go to the path of Marcus Schroed, who triples past. And now Webb, central for Mikola. He is unable to reach it, and now you can see the loud groan emanating from that far side. South Melbourne fans are definitely displeased with their side's efforts so far, as we have 2 minutes of stoppage time to play. Ollie, take us through the rest of this half.
South Melbourne there again unlucky. We argue that Avondale should have had the fourth down the other end just before, though. Bit of misidentification there from Lachlan Keevers. Taken down the line. With Marshall. The one by Sawyer. Jacoby away. It's on by Boland. Marzi will get there first, though. Rolls it on towards Shiva. Couldn't get there ahead of Valentini, getting back to do his defensive duties. Seeded the throw. Marzi, field to Langlois. The ball forward now on the turn. Mikola, edge of the area, shoots! Low and just wide. Behind for a corner. South Melbourne want a free kick. Referee didn't feel like there was anything there. South Melbourne, perhaps now with the final attack of the half, how they were dealing off to get a goal. Going to the break with a bit of momentum. By Mikola. Ryan punches away. Attack should be reloaded here though. Shiva. He goes back instead. First time forward from Lopez. Long ball towards Sawyer. It wasn't Sawyer, Sawyer was in the middle. Waiting to get onto the end of it. Melbourne on that occasion unable to do what was required with Jankovic winning the header down. But now they're moving the other way here, Avondale. Trajewski to the byline, cutting it back. Well defended by both El Marzi and Norton. And the referee's whistle ends an absolutely crazy
inspiring. And what should we expect from South Melbourne for their response?
It's going to be interesting. We said that during the break. We were wondering what was going to happen. Another quick mention to South's NPL women's side who play tonight. We'll keep you across that game as well. It's Box Hill, but their men's side have got it all to do. It's going to be interesting to see how this game goes. South Melbourne throw everything at it, I reckon. Try and get at least one back and then take it from there. Of course, getting one goal back will be the first thing on their agenda, and they will kick off. They'll be going from left to right in their blue shirts, blue shorts, blue socks. Avondale, pink shirts, white shorts, pink socks. From right to left, and we are underway in this second half. South Melbourne with it all to do. Night meant to be of celebration, far from that at the moment. Dale turning up to Lakeside, getting the job done and then some so far. Still a lot of football to be played though, mind. Field from Ricabene, Contavian, back from Towns. So well to get away from it though. Towards Ahmed. It's the path of Towns who comes out wide. Now with Valentini on the Avondale left. Takes it in field. Stefan Valentini has a crack. Well saved by Lopez. Still alive though for Avondale. Ricabene into the middle. Blocked by Langlois. Get it back again though, Avondale. Trzeski. Yusuf Ahmed. Into the middle. South. Steal in, cleared away by Schroen up towards Sawyer. Looks to get his body in between Matthew Reid and Paul. He does. And draws the foul. Borderline yellow card that, I reckon, but Lachlan Keevers likes not to reprimand the Avondale defender anymore. Marty. Sawyer. And the opposite number 9 on the ball for Avondale. Baldwin. Valentini. By Trzeski. Still, Stefan Valentini goes. Defended by Schroen, who robbed him of it. Back now with Marcus Schroen, who's got space in which to move. Alan Webb to his right and finds him. Chiba. Webb outside of the foot to the edge of the box. And down by Schroen towards Sawyer, who throws it out wide. Ball goes back towards Sawyer. Ball didn't get there. And the shot on goal deflected on Roots. And South have got a Roots back into the game. Max Mikola. And the South fans on the far side rise! They badly needed that! They've pegged one back, and there is life still in this game!
Can they find their way? Now intense pressing employed by the goal scorer in Mikola. The Clarendon corner have now found their voice once again, joined by the disciples of Ange Postecoglou in the fans of Celtic who have made their way to Lakeside Stadium this evening. And here comes South again through Sawyer. Heavy first touch. Trzeski gets a flick on. Now with Webb, looks to find his way inwards, and Trzeski will pick it up in a deep position. Outside of the boot effort to find Yusuf Ahmed is not found. Vauxhall United currently find themselves 1-0 down to South Melbourne. South Melbourne, should they win today, will earn their first victory of the MP. Vauxhall United currently find themselves 1-0 down to South Melbourne. South Melbourne, should they win today, will earn their first victory of the NPLW campaign. Marshall turns away. Will obviously go centrally to find Lirim Almazi. Trips over the ball briefly. South. If they can grab a second, they'll be well in the box seat here to earn themselves some points. Wouldn't that be an amazing comeback? Although, we can't get ahead of ourselves here. Mikola looking to steam his way through 3 Avondale players. And in fact, he'll find Liam Boland as free as a bird on his far side. Options are plenty waiting in the middle is Liam Boland. Now finds his way into the 18-yard area, headed on by Jajeski. Doesn't get all of it. Webb could be the one to get that first touch. Now Jeeva. Webb picks it up once more. Looking for the path of Harrison Sawyer. Manages to get a touch on it and drive it through. Does the number 9, the former Newcastle Jet and Taipo man in Hong Kong. And that ball centred towards the path of Harrison Sawyer. Not enough height on that there. Jake Marshall. 1. To clear it. Langlois. Wonderfully weighted ball to find Max Mikola, and Reed manages to get the first touch. Reed again, composed in his defensive position today. Only goes as far as Brad Norton. Of course, started out his career professionally at Melbourne Victory. And receives the ball, again doesn't bat. Brad Norton to the far post! Invaded Alan Webb. And South Melbourne have earned more than one sniff, plenty. And here come Avondale through Yusuf Ahmed. Boland receives the ball in a wide space. Now, looking to find his way forward. Yankovic clears. South Melbourne, well, they've certainly upped the tempo, and they've got a goal for it.
A long way to go for South Melbourne, but started the second half in ideal fashion. South Melbourne will go to the bench. A moment or so. Langlois, double change, being prepared for the hosts. Something like a Tavian. Sawyer on the turn to get away from the Avondale defence. He's done well, Harrison Sawyer. Checks. But to go alone off the crossbar and helped in by Alan Webb. The lakeside miracle could well be on. They were down and out to the break. 10 minutes later, their heart is beating. And they are on their way back. They were on the ropes. And now they are fighting back strong, South Melbourne. And now it's Avondale's turn to respond. Avondale's turn to fight back. A crazy game. Josh Wallen on, Jeeva off.
On the perimeter of the penalty area, reels his way through. Deflected, and that will fall out of play for a throw-in. The added intensity here at Lakeside. There's bound to be some more goals in this Ollie.
And the South faithful on the far side, after being dejected, and now finding their voice again. They were sullen and devoid of noise before, pure antithesis of it now. On the edge of the area, Avondale broke kindly for Riccobene. His shot was blocked. Garcia on the halfway line. Yute Towns. Wide, tight to the far side touchline. Field back to Yute Towns, who's robbed of it by Langlois. Rolls it to his left. South are moving forward. They're breaking forward. Nicola got the overlapping run of Langlois. Goes alone and almost finds the far corner. Parity almost restored. Almost 10 minutes into the second half, and South had almost erased all the damage. Ball high up into the air, over the head of Yusuf Ahmed. Crazy start to this second half. Boland, he's fouled by Marshall, who will surely go into the referee's notebook, you'd think. Marko Jankovic rather than Marshall. And Neil, what do we make of this then? We were questioning what the half is going to be like. Don't think we expected this.
The defence has been broken wide open. And it's interesting to see Alan Webb make way. I didn't think he had that bad of a performance. I mean, he got on the team sheet, he got on the goal scorer sheet, which is, relatively impressive from him. But the Welshman will have to do. I think Jeeba's really struggled to cope with the likes of Stefan Valentini, and that's probably the right change, to be honest. But South Melbourne, they're just playing with so much freedom and confidence. Avondale seems to be relatively shaken up. They'll look to find their way forward. It's very similar to how South Melbourne reacted early on as a free kick is given away by the Avengers. Chipped in far to find the path of Max Mikela, who's been the playmaker today. Strongly cleared by James Riccobene, and it's a raucous atmosphere, intimidating at one for Avondale to cope with. It almost feels like Middle Park in the NSL. Everyone on their feet, awaiting this throw-in on the far side. And it is Kukupi. Laid over the top by Stefan Valentini, and South earn themselves another throw-in. Once more. Wallen, of course. Of QPR, under 23s, joined the club 7 years ago at the midway point of the 15-16 season. Left in 2018 and joined back in 2021. Nicola, micro once again. Rory Bryant is forced to tip it over his goal, and South Melbourne earned themselves another corner. Bryant has been widely contested today. Than he would have anticipated after his side went up 3-0. And we will see Max Mikela on this near side send it in to the mixer. The height of Sawyer, Jankovic, Marshall, Elmazi. Again, headed on once more. Looking for a secondary effort. That's given away. Norton's shot does go wide, but Avondale earn themselves a free kick. And the boos censured towards the South Melbourne players and now towards the referee. So a sign that South Melbourne's fans have regained the faith, the trust in their players. And change in so few minutes. Ahmed gives it away. South Melbourne take the throw. Plenty of time for South Melbourne to secure an equaliser and potentially a winner. 32 minutes regulation time for them to do so. Patrick Langlois gives away the foul. South fans express their discontent.
Avondale. He's rolling it out wide. Now, Stadium back to his skipper Reed. Better, who knocked it on. Valentini and Marzi. Ball. Back from Riccobene. Hoisted clear by Barcia. Ball finally hits the deck. Valentini, first time round the corner. What an intelligent ball! Poland looks to clip it over the top for the run of Yusuf Ahmed. Who does so well to win his side a corner. Brilliant attacking play from Yusuf Ahmed. In fact, he's gone for a goal kick. The assistant's call has been overruled by Lachlan Keevers. Snuffing out the danger, rolling it short as South look to motor on forward. Sawyer back to goal. Now with Brennan, substitute. Schroen. Whips into the middle, Reed should deal with it. Clearance not the greatest. And Baldwin battles, the latter wins out. Ahmed. Good ball, now wide for Valentini, who's straight to an offside position. West Australian ball player thought he'd timed his shot to perfection, but since the referee on the far side thought otherwise. Down the line, good run from Sawyer. Will he get there first? The answer is yes! And penalty for South Melbourne! The second one awarded in this game! After Avondale had one before, Rory Bryan's been booked. A reckless bit of play by the Avondale shot stopper. And South Melbourne may well restore parity. They've got a golden chance to do it. Unbelievable.
Game of the season. And the penalty hasn't even been taken yet. And it will be Harry Sawyer to take it. I just can't believe this, Ollie. Let's see what happens here. Harrison Sawyer, the opportunity of a lifetime for South Melbourne FC.
So here it is, Harrison Sawyer, the former Newcastle Jets man. A career that has taken him around the world and has the chance to convert this spot kick in a game that will be heard around the NPL men's Victoria world. In the Anne Foster-Cogley coronation, can Sawyer send the South fans into a state of jubilation? 12 yards, can he replicate what Liam Baldwin did before? Keevers with a final bit of housekeeping. You could hear a pin drop here at Lakeside Stadium. Harrison Sawyer. Harrison Sawyer. Straight down the middle! This game is beyond comprehension! Beyond words! The joy of the South Melbourne fans Unbelievable!
Do not scratch your eyes. You are truly seeing one of the greatest comebacks in NPL Victoria history. I'm calling it now. I'm calling it now. South against Knights last season in the FFA Cup. South against Avondale this season. South against Dandenong City in the FFA Cup in 2017. This is up there. Regardless of the result, this is absolute pandemonium. And if I said it was like Middle Park in those 90s, 80s and 70s in the NSL, we're back. The fighting spirit of Celtic reigns true.
A little bit of housekeeping to do. Gillingham on the south, second Zinni on for Avondale, so a change of pace. Nicola, as South look to work it forward, out of play, Avondale throw.
Well, I have to note the changes, of course. Gillingham, we know what he's done in his career, formerly of Hume City, New Zealand international as well. A-League men's player for many years. Zinni, of course, similarly of the same ilk, started his career at Melbourne City and also made his way to the Wanderers. Also signed an injury replacement contract with Western United last season. As Liam Boland gives away the foul, and now the frustration from Zoki Markovski. Wallen now on this near side. Sends the ball into the mixer. Mikula heads on. Will Sawyer get to it? No, he can't, and Rory Bryan will collect. And we'll look to bring you scores around the ground, should I say, in just a couple moments' time. But if you are tuning in, and you've obviously seen the miraculous comeback of South Melbourne, currently now 3-3. Pat Langlois gives away the foul. Goals in the first half from Yite Towns, Liam Boland and Stefan Valentini made it 3 up for the Avengers, while Alan Webb, Harrison Sawyer were able to square the ledger in this second half for South Melbourne.
Hello.
Riccobene carries it back to Barcia. Centre back in the world, it's Mario Barcia, the Argentine. Jajeski wriggles his way through. In fact, that was Stefan Valentini advantage played. Here comes Christian Jajeski. Evades Patrick Langlois. Jakupi now. Send it into the area. Oh, on the free header! Oh, it just trespassed Javi Lopez's goal. And the golden chance for one of the greatest NPL marksmen we've ever seen in Liam Boland. This is now end-to-end stuff. Sawyer by himself, looking for the run of Gillingham. Cleared away. Valentini gets the first touch. Wallen looking to find his way through. Schrone, now advantage played. Mikula receives deep. He was brought down. That's a free kick. Matthew Reid, well, I believe he will go into the book again. So, or perhaps not. Lachlan Keevers taking his time. Yes, Matthew Reid does go into the book. Now, South Melbourne, set-piece opportunity. And you suspect that Marcus Schrone will have the opportunity to strike from distance. He did from this very spot against Melbourne City in the FFA Cup round of 32 last year. That was saved by Tom Glover. From this very same angle, I'd have to say. On his second occasion, this could be the most important. Of course, now entering the 69th minute. Schrone, Mikula on the free kick. You see Brad Norton now giving instructions to the two players, the two midfielders. I'll tell you, two of the most technically gifted midfielders in the NPL Victoria. Mikula. Oh my goodness! It is the comeback of the decade so far! Max Mikula makes it 4-3 to South Melbourne! The spirit of Ed Postecoglou firmly in the minds of South Melbourne players. Avondale don't know now. They've cooked 4 goals in 25 minutes, and South Melbourne, the most insurmountable of comebacks, has been completed. Max Mikola grabs his second of the game. This compares to nothing like you've ever seen in Victorian football here at Lakeside Stadium.
South Melbourne wanted a party. They've arrived late to it, but a party's what we've got. Utterly lost for words. South Melbourne with the fight back of all fight backs, scoring the 7th goal in 7. How has this happened? So meek in the first half, South Melbourne. So irrepressible in the second. And now Avondale have got to look for something. They had 3 points sewn up in the bag. They've been stolen away. Sawyer latches onto it. Throw into South Melbourne. And the noise on the far side here at Lakeside is something to behold. Perhaps not as strong in numbers as the NSL days, but certainly loud, certainly vocal, and certainly vehement. Sawyer back to goal. South Melbourne with another throw. Beyond anything we would have expected. Stroke. High looping ball. Ryan commanding. It's his error. It allowed South to draw level. It was Matthew Reed's error. It allowed South to go in front. Zinni the substitute. Katavian. Looks wider. Back in field. Roll forward. Valentini looking to make something work. Can only find Javi Lopez.
I'm lost for words, Ollie. This is something that you only see. You know, it's been 10 days, 10 years to the day, sorry, that Manchester City defeated QPR in 2012 to secure the Premier League title. I know it's not of the same magnitude, but this day certainly remembers.
Of course, on that day, Manchester City won it with virtually the last time. Avondale have got more time for their sake to try and claw their way back. They've got a free kick. Riccobene over it. Seen by Riccobene. On the back stick, Valentini's lurking into the ground and behind for a South Melbourne goal kick. A wicked delivery from James Riccobene. Stefan Valentini unable to come up when it matters and grab the 8th goal of the game that would have seen us level again. Still so much football left to be played. Do not go anywhere. Crazy game that may well yet get even crazier. Long ball over the head of Sawyer. Ingham couldn't get there for South Melbourne. Riccobene set to clear. Down the line. On by Wallen. On to find Zinni. South Melbourne. Go to the bench again. On Chris Irwin. Off Max Mikola. Catalyst for the South comeback. Max Mikola, the mastermind. gives Lachlan Keevers an earful. Players of both persuasions surrounding the referee. Physio runs out to attend to Matthew Reed, who is down. The losses of a centre half, that is Matthew Reed. So commanding in the back for Avondale. Wonderful in the first half. This team have been blown to smithereens in the second. For South Melbourne then. Owen goes short, accompanied by Stefanzini. Instead it goes into the middle, towards Sawyer. Got off, got to win his header. Back into the middle, headed away by Avondale. Only as far as Norton. Just forward of halfway. First time ball forward. Towards Shiningham. That's who Avondale plays contact with. No possession back, kept it alive. Moves into the middle, towards Sawyer. Ryan called into action. He was arrowing towards the back of the net. What a huge hand from Rory Ryan. Keeps his team in it. Gives it away, like last FC. Over and over the top. The run of Sawyer, who's inside the penalty area. His first touch too heavy. The chance goes begging. Over the top. Back with Jankovic. South Melbourne to cement their lead. Across to Almazi with a lot of effort working forward. Off the run of ball and won't find him. Through to Rory Bryan. Avondale back in possession. 13 minutes to play in the 90.
Well, I think we have some time to just collect ourselves here. This game is quickly becoming a town. I mean Melbourne. The NPL Victoria men's. Many have expressed their wonder, their shock at this result as it currently stands 4-3. And I did mention in the first half, if South Melbourne got one, they'd have some deliberate room. And they're 4-3 now, so dare I say, I might have some foresight. Looks like Joey Katabian and Liam Boland will make way. Maybe like Agawek. Listen, Diaz to come on. And this, of course, is maybe like Agawek's first game back at Lakeside Stadium. He, of course, a former South Melbourne player himself, before making the move to the west. City, now Agawek. First time taking strike. Agawek also spent time at the Mariners in the off-season, making his way down to Avondale. Sliding challenge that time by Liston Diaz. Diaz himself, who scored 2 goals in the Australia Cup midweek against the Essendon Royals. Saviour in that game before South Melbourne, nearly going down to State League 1 side. They did manage to get a 4-2 victory. Of course, we have to mention that Avondale were actually the ones who knocked out South Melbourne of the Australian Cup earlier on. Hume City's home ground. He manages to keep it in. It's near side. Draws it in centrally for the path. Diaz now. City brought down. Calls for a penalty and waved away. And now Sawyer carries it back to the path of Josh Wallen with the crossfield ball. Agawek gets the first touch. Now Towns intercepted by Andy Brennan. Plenty of pressure up wide. On his side for Jajeski. Overlapping run of Rickabene. Louis opts to go centrally. Navi Diaz Lopez will take his time, and South Melbourne will surely look to play the defensive football as demonstrated last season for the remainder of this contest.